Welcome to the Friendlyjordies Podcast. I hope, like always, everyone had a great week.
So do I.
I forget.
This week, there's
Okay, Mislav doesn't want you to have a good week.
No, right. No.
He's embarrassed.
I was talking about myself. Anyway,
All right.
go on.
Well, I'm glad that was clarified.
Well, there might not be a lot of stuff happening in your respective states, but in New South Wales, there's an election kicking off.
Yeah.
Used to
And
me.
we finally had Albo, who stepped out of the shadows of Perrottet. He's a decent premier to that man sucks.
Damn.
he's-
So
Good.
he's finally weighed in, and he is
He's
a
finally
heavy
weighed
man.
in. He said that Perrottet government is riddled with
Scandal.
scandal after scandal. How could you even support him? Chris Minns is a good, decent man who has the best interests of the public at his heart.
That's incredible. Like, I am amazed that man supported the Labor Party.
Who? Albo.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm surprised he
So
didn't
left
come out.
of field. Would it be amazing if he did come out and was just like, no, Perrottet's a pretty good guy.
I honestly, at this point, would expect him to come out and be like, we're all talking about Perrottet this and Minns that, but where's the talk about Palmer? Clive didn't have a decent run, and we should give him another shot.
Yeah.
Is
He
he even-
supports UAP.
Is he still in? Does he have a
Clive
seat?
Palmer.
Yeah. Is he in Parliament?
No.
What's he? He's out.
Yeah, he's been out for years. Years.
Well, again, news
And then when
to
he was
me.
in there, was he barely there? And
He was
I think he
sleeping.
was there, 4% of the time, and most of the time
But
that he was there, he used it as some kind of like one of those Japanese sleepover pods.
It would be really funny if Albo came out being like, Clive, bring him back. And then, anyway, I'm just saying.
Well, and
Yeah, New
so
South Wales, take one for the team.
I looked at some of the polls for the New South Wales elections.
When
Did
is
you?
this election?
Yeah, what do you think the popularity is at the moment? I've got 3 separate polls here, but just give me a ballpark. They're kind of similar.
I'm imagining that Minns is behind Perrottet slightly in preferred premier purely because that's always what happens, really. Like you have to be Scott Morrison for people to like the opposition leader more. I would imagine that Labor is ahead probably, 52-48. I don't think that's going to translate on the day. I think they're going to win by a wider margin.
I got my own thoughts.
Dude, that's pretty spot on. They're currently 53-47 according to one of the polls.
That's
52.5, so 47.5 according to New Morgan poll. And, well, I actually had 2 polls. But either way, you're pretty close. It seems like Labor might just win, bro. And for so many reasons, too. Like, let's look at some of the, if you want to, let's look at some of the issues that I've recently come across that make me think that not only are Perrottet like unfair economic managers, but they're just bad economic managers. Like, I looked at this dude. You've got to check out this kid. He's got this Indian kid who lives in Sydney. He's Australian Indian. Sorry, I shouldn't have said Indian. But he's got like a mustache and he's got a very low quality YouTube channel. Actually, he's getting better. If you're watching, good on you. And
And he probably is.
his niche.
Thanks, man. Keep up the good work.
His niche.
Reach for the stars.
His niche is, and he exclusively just talks about this, New South Wales transport systems and logistics. That's
Oh,
Finally.
that guy.
that guy, you've seen him? Dude, he's good. He's not bad.
I could watch that.
That is a meteoric star on the rise.
Yeah, I'm into that.
I'm surprised that you're not subscribed to it jumping ship to help him out on his cause.
Well,
That is right up your alley.
Trains do. I have my issues with trains. I tried to catch a train home the other night at, it wasn't that late. It was like 3:30 a.m.
Well,
And it was like next train in 2.5 hours. What are my tax dollars paying for?
well, look, we'll get to that.
I want to get drunk in the western suburbs and be able to go home with a click of
It was
fingers.
the city.
Oh, was it?
It was Surrey Hills.
Yeah, step up your game, New South Wales. See, this is why New South Wales Liberals need to go out right now. Because I don't know if everybody knows this, but the New South Wales killed the vibe in the city.
Hey, I was listening to your old Friendlyjordies pod with those who shall not be named, but
Yes,
free
yes.
us. And there was
Evil Ali and Mislav.
There was a lot of Keep Sydney Open content, or rather Keep Sydney Closed was one of the segments. That
Yes, the continuing meme that saw that man raised to the heady heights, literally the heights of being the traffic guy in the helicopter that sits there being like, "Man, did you know this, that the M5 has traffic on it? Okay,
Hey.
I really don't know. It makes no sense whatsoever how I still have a job when they're always cutting back on radio.
Shut up. It's not good. It's not polite. It's
We
very
love
funny. It's very funny.
I'm glad he does. I'm just
I
saying,
was a
like,
big
if you're
fan.
looking for someone to fire, come on. Like, I think you could just
no.
look at Google Maps. You don't need to go up at the shop. At least
No,
fire.
no, no.
Okay, you don't have to
It's
fire
all
him. Just
true.
I'll settle with this.
I was a big
fire
fan.
the helicopter pilot, please.
I was a big fan of the content. I'm just saying, all I'm saying is the issues continue. What's changed since Baird? Not much.
Okay, well, look.
It's only gotten worse.
I would.
First-hand experience.
Yeah.
We could sit here and we
Keep
could talk
Sydney
about all the
closed.
harrowing tales of all the nurses that are dealing with unbearable conditions. But then we'd be forgetting the real victims, people like Mislav who wanted to party and
On a
take
weeknight.
no responsibility for their actions. And you failed him, Perrottet.
We're all heroes in our own way.
Hey.
But Mislav is more of a hero than everyone else.
yeah.
Let's
obviously.
we'll get to that, whatever that is.
Mislav Pelabragic
Well,
is he the
biggest
hero
hero.
of our time.
Yeah. World's big. Nah, that's crazy. Australia's biggest.
That's also crazy.
Just default Australian of the year for every year from now. Every year.
At least I can make a nice pasta.
Yeah.
I'd just swing it. Anyway,
So,
go on.
look, it turns out like this much, Jordan. I know that you also know, and I knew that essentially all of the road network in Sydney is monopolized by this one company.
Yeah.
Transurban, right?
I can't speak. Horse and Cart Inc. Am I right?
No,
I'm glad that you're getting to the bottom of this one.
Well, the f***ing streets are narrow.
they might be the boss, but we're the idiots in this situation because this is what happens, right? So they're multi-billion-dollar projects, which in there we can have a whole discussion about how inflated some of these budgets for these projects are. But let's forgetting that it's a multi-billion-dollar project. So the government, the Liberal government of New South Wales, decided that we're going to go for a public-private partnership, right? So the roads are going to be built by these private companies. We're going to help them, and then they're going to charge people on these toll roads, and they're going to get money off of that, right? And apparently these are indefinite. So what happens is, at the time, Labor government even criticized this to a certain extent, but what ended up happening was that the Transurban have inflated toll prices to such a height where most people in Sydney, unless you're loaded and you drive around in Porsches, can't really afford to use some of these roads.
It's true.
It's kind of like, dude, this was like 3 years ago when I used to come back from Lithgow to Sydney, right? Just that one
Shout
way.
out.
So double that going and coming back used to cost around $25 to $30 then.
What?
Every time you did that, if you came from North Sydney,
What roads were you taking?
well, the main harbor, because you're coming from Lithgow to Sydney, right?
Oh, okay.
And so it would cost you that much. So double that, it would cost you $60 like just to go there once if you use those roads. And these have inflated to the point where like, okay, so I came here, right? If I use tolls, this is just a straight road. I have to pay 2 tolls now. Each of them are about $10 each. Yeah, $20. $20 coming here, $20 going back. Or I could choose to use the non-toll road and just reach my house never, essentially.
I've done that.
Right,
I've
so-
tried to cheap out.
So this is what, and as the elections came close, the government, New South Wales government, realized based on public opinion that this is getting ridiculous because this is someone I don't use it that often, so it's annoying. But I'm like, okay, well, I guess. But if you have a job that requires you to travel on these roads daily, you are screwed. It's like
$400 every 10 days.
it's close to your rent at some point, and
That's insane.
so the government the government said, okay, how can we fix this? They are planning both if the Labor government comes in or the Liberal government, Labor more so, but Liberal to a certain extent, are subsidizing some of these toll roads.
I
Right?
can't believe that we have to subsidize
So now
it.
the subsidize is our tax money.
I know.
So essentially, what's happening is with the public-private partnership, we help them build these massive infrastructure
know.
projects.
Yeah.
The toll goes to them.
All of
right?
it.
All of it. And then on top of that, what we are unable to pay comes from our own money, which is the tax dollars. So can someone explain to me why we did all of this just to give one company hundreds of millions of dollars?
Jesus.
For nothing.
Why? For nothing.
Me no likey.
If we're paying for it we're paying to build it, we're paying to use it, and then we're paying income, we're paying these companies taxes based on our income tax. It's the worst project you could ever think of.
I know.
It would have been much better.
Nothing angers me more than those roads.
WestConnex.
And also the overinflated prices that we paid for the roads as well, because all the subcontractors that are all on the take from the Liberal Party, they charge us so. This boggles my mind that WestConnex, which I think is like 16 kilometres or something like that, doesn't alleviate traffic at all, and bonus is one of the most expensive infrastructure projects in human history.
No. Are you fucking serious?
Doesn't get any pricier than that.
It's not that good a tunnel.
It's worse than not that good a tunnel.
I don't mind little fairy
not
lights at the
good.
top, but it's not worth billions.
Well, that's definitely in the pluses though. So
Yeah, I'll agree with
someone
this.
had to put that in, and that's definitely worth 10 billion. But see, the other 30 billion, how are you justifying it?
Jordan, just to like put certain
Those big fans to remind you that jets have engines. Just a reminder.
Yeah.
You're probably driving to the airport.
Yeah.
Enjoy your holiday.
Yep.
And just to put things into perspective on the cost of this stuff, I was just happened to be reading, the tallest building in the world in Dubai, Burj Khalifa, like how it was manufactured, because it is like pretty tall if you ever noticed.
What is
Like
this Wiz Khalifa?
Oh, yeah, I was.
Burj Khalifa is the name of the tallest building in the world in Dubai.
It's popular.
It's
the one Tom
huge.
Cruise climbs.
Yeah,
all
it's
the
the
time.
one that Tom Cruise. It's the biggest in the world.
Come on,
Everyone
you
knows.
only
that.
have to do it once, Tom.
But listen, check this out, Jordan. In 2009, that project was completed, and it cost to make this engineering marvel, which revolutionized Dubai economy, $5 billion.
How much was WestConnex?
So hang on, if we actually allotted the money for WestConnex, let's just say we didn't build
Wait, how
it,
much
and
was
traffic
it?
would be exactly
How
the
much
same.
was it?
What? 40 billion. If we didn't build that, Sydney would look like Dubai right now.
Well, I mean, I'm not saying that, but I'm just saying
better.
like
No, those are your words.
No, better. We'd
My-
have like 50
my-
of those
Yep.
buildings.
Yep.
my point
No,
is
we can move on to the next subject, Ali. I think we got your point.
well, on that subject. Now coming back to what Mislav is saying, the rail network in the
Yeah.
public. So this is all private. Again,
Yeah, it's
this
all
is
WestConnex's fault.
Republican strategy of making money and just burdening your people with extra expenses. These road networks. What we used to be good at was public transport. Mislav just mentioned what a mess this is in. Jordan, I was mentioning this to
Sucks,
you.
dude.
Here's the latest news report. So back in the day, the Liberal government decided. Actually, Jordan, do you want to talk about it? How the rail corporation was made in the first place, and then we can talk about the scandals that's riddling it right now.
Well, I don't know why the rail corporation was built in the first place. I just know that it has
Rum,
become
probably.
Huh?
Probably rum.
No, this
Rum?
is recent, bro. This is like in mid
2013 or something.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah,
maybe not
something like
rum.
that.
Maybe not rum.
But so they
Don't rule it out though, miss. Okay.
okay, so this is an older story, but what happened was that essentially the New South Wales government had a budget deficit, or they didn't want to. Their budget had a few losses that they wanted to hide, so they did an accounting trick. They made New South Wales Rail into a corporate entity, moving it away from the government. That took out around $30
Yeah, so it's technically
billion.
no longer a liability.
It was technically no longer a liability. So all of a sudden, their budget was in surplus. This is the inception. By the way,
Oh,
this
that's
isn't
right.
an
Michael
opinion.
Daly exposed this, didn't he?
Yeah, and this was like Michael Daly exposed this, and then like Michael Daly went, but every time he went into Parliament, he kept saying this, and he also talked about the transurban stuff. He was like, "This is crazy." So they did this just to like mess around with their budget.
To make it look like they're in surplus.
To a corporate entity which did not have CEO, that did not have board of directors. It was basically a sham corporate entity in the first place.
Wow.
And so now what's happening? So this happened and it completely effed up the entire rail structure. So what happens is the Labour government, just before coming in, if they do get elected, said that this is a fiasco, and the rail corporation got hints that their entire entity might get scrapped, which honestly is something that probably needs to happen. As soon as they hear this, what they decide is they give fat paychecks. The CEO approves it by the board of directors. Now they have a CEO and everything, but the CEO approves herself a fat redundancy package. So in case she gets laid off, which the Labour government might do if they get elected, she gets around $300,000. All of her executives get paid a huge amount as well. So they basically made their own firing profitable, and you can't really do anything about it. And they claim that this is just an industry standard because jobs are getting insecure. But the foot soldiers aren't getting any piece of this pie, or maybe a sliver of it. It's just a fat package for the executives and the CEO to go off and go on a holiday for maybe 2 or 3 months and come back and work for some other blood-sucking corporation and make money.
Yeah.
Wait a second.
Like, and just think about this. The two things that Ali just talked about then, those are just two of the scandals of the New South Wales Liberals. You can name a dozen of them. The trams in Newcastle, the rampant approval of all of these buildings, of which I think 90% of them are defective. Like the obscene water theft in this country. Like, all of these things are attributed to the New South Wales government. And I honestly think that it is not a stretch to say that it is up there with Joh Bjelke-Petersen in terms of the rank corruption that happens as a result of this government. It's a miracle that it even lasted this long.
Dude, people say that there's not that many issues in New South Wales. So just two of those things that you mentioned. So let's talk about water theft. We all know you've done videos about water theft, so we're not going to go into the nitty-gritties of it. But just an example of that is, remember how in 2019 there was a bunch of fish that just died in the basin?
Yeah, the Murray-Darling.
Yeah. Same thing is happening now. No one cares about it. And it's essentially because of, again, water issues, right? The oxygen levels in the water has really depleted.
Well, and also on top of that, there's just not enough water.
Yeah. And guess how the New South Wales government, the current government, is deciding to fix it?
With filters or
by
something?
privatizing water. I mean, it's not something to fix it, but like I'm just saying, like, you are getting examples of how this mismanagement of water is causing ecological disasters, right? Most of the fish that has died is Asian carp. And I know a lot of people don't care about the Asian carp as much as the native species, and I understand that. But here's the two aspects of it. Number one, the reason why many of the native species aren't dying in this current disaster is because they died in 2019.
They're already dead.
Right?
Already Gonskis.
Yeah. Or
there's your Gonski right there, reforms.
Yeah. Liberal style.
New kind of Gonski 2.0.
And the second thing that you mentioned just while you were talking about this, nurses. Again, we all know the plight that nurses are currently facing, right? Every state, I think, don't quote me on this, but I think every state in this country has set a patient-to-nurse ratio. New South Wales hasn't. Am I right about that? I might be wrong about that, but I think I'm right about that. However, either way, you probably know a lot of the issues that nurses are facing. How is the government fixing it? They recently banned nurses from using OnlyFans to create content.
That's not fair on me.
Do you realize why they're on OnlyFans in the freaking first place?
Exactly, dude. Because her nurses are hot.
Well, there's that. But
don't pettifog the issue, Ali. It's true.
No, because they got no money and they're hot.
I initially thought that it was because they don't want nurses to be seen in nursing uniforms on OnlyFans, and I was like, that's actually fair. But then I looked deeper into it. No, it's not just that. They're like, if you get recognized by someone that has been to the hospital that you work at and is also on OnlyFans, probably some creep who's jerking off, you are in serious trouble for a violation of conduct.
How are you in violation of it?
Because you're
this goes against virtually every porn film I've ever seen.
Exactly. Well, that's a different thing.
But like, what the hell? Why is that a violation of it? It's just like, oh my God, you could give this geriatric man a heart attack. But let's be honest, it's better than the alternative of just getting doped up on morphine. It frees up a bed. It's insane.
But it's obviously the money, right?
In fact, that should be Labor's new program. It's just like, okay, you don't want to pay for more hospital upgrades. Well, then you guys, like every nurse is hot, fact. Just go on OnlyFans and you can work like tips for waitresses in the US.
So bad. But hopefully the conditions can improve for nurses.
They are brutal.
Okay, lastly, one more issue. rent bidding.
No, they will be. They will be greatly improved under a New South Wales Labor government.
No, but like if Liberals get elected again, that's what I'm trying
yeah,
to
well then that's it. You know that this is such a good talking point that I've got to do more of. First off, I've got to put more of my feet in shots.
I was liking it. You have an account on like foot.com.
Yeah?
They got your number.
So these old chompers pay
So,
off.
like,
Yeah.
Can someone explain to me why a lot of our comments on YouTube, which I go through, they're a lot about like Jordan's feet and how like you need to get shoes, but why is everyone like obsessed with feet as if they're like some lady's tits? I don't understand.
Well,
Like
it's 2023.
people
Well,
walk
they're my
barefoot
feet. That's
all-
fair enough.
Dude, because it's
These
20
hobbit stompers.
Dude, because it's 2023 and we're in a weird time and there's a lot of weirdos on the internet. That's why.
Like,
Yeah, I think that's
how
what happened.
big are feet
Big.
as a sexual?
It's pretty damn big, man.
Dude, I send my old socks to some dude in like Perth sometimes and he gives me money for
Yeah,
them.
but that's one person out of like thousands of people that watch. So I thought that's a good representation of the feet people that are out there. But
No, I think this is a good advertising opportunity. Guys, if you want Mislav socks, you can contact the pod and he will send them to you.
Insta. Just go straight to Insta. Don't let me mess around. Just cut the middleman
I mean,
out.
we cut Mislav from being as part of the OnlyFans because we have the same policies in New South Wales Libs. It would be an embarrassment to us, right? It's like a huge duty of care. But he's
Okay,
found a
yeah.
loophole.
Yep.
And good on you, miss.
yeah. So it's
Right on in. But yeah, don't worry about the feet. You get him in shot. People, that's cash. But yeah, the nurses are struggling.
And there's a lot of other issues that obviously
Jesus.
Jordan has already discussed in his video. So the scandals and the corruption. So we're not going to get into that. But here's a bit of those teasers as to like,
It is just a real weird thing to me, though, isn't it? It's just like, why would anyone bother having a job where you are constantly abused,
Yep.
overworked, have to deal with death and very sad situations all day,
I was gonna.
when you can just flash your vagina for more money?
I have a friend who's a nurse, and I was gonna read out a story, but I don't want to put her in a bad position, so I'll do it in the up late. So sign up to the up late if you want to hear how brutal it is to be a nurse. Because like the last story I got is just so mental that like it has to be put out there. Sorry, there's content.
So it's worse than the other ones because the other ones keep me up at night. No, it's on par.
Pretty bad.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's in
Well,
the
they're all
Rolodex.
like that.
Yeah.
Just
It's
like- yeah,
fucking crazy, man. This is the shit they have to deal with. Like, it's insane. Getting pissed on, getting punched, getting abused. It's like,
It's OnlyFans.
well, it's high. OnlyFans, you get more money for it.
Yeah, I
that's
know.
a high category. That's just entry level.
Yeah.
So yeah, sign up to the up late. We'll give you some like actual.
yeah, it's ridiculous.
Stories.
Like when those jobs that are traditionally assumed to be really safe career jobs, things like nurses and teachers, have one of the highest dropout rates in this country. Like, sorry, in this state at least. I don't know about the country.
And you know what?
The
Fair
system
enough.
is broken. Like
Yes.
something
Yeah.
is going wrong.
Also,
here.
Yep.
the fact that I understand that at nighttime there need to be nurses there because people need 24-hour care. But when you've got low weight,
replace them with robots.
that would be sick, and probably a good idea. But or an option, everything's on the table. But pre-robots doing that, I understand the need for that. But low wages with huge quitting, like resigning level, dramatically understaffed, violence, abuse, and so that's all happening. And then on top of that, your roster is all right. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, you work normal hours. Thursday, Friday, you work from 7 p.m. to 7 a.m. And then the next week we'll invert it. And then the next week it'll be like, it'll just be peppered which nights. So it completely fucks your sleep cycle and it does horrible things to your health. Destroys your mental health and your physical health. It's so bad for your circadian rhythms to be just like, that's like, can give you psychosis. And then just chuck in people punching you.
Bro, and
Kind of
life
jo-
of
And people don't
Keep
care.
you up. It's kind of like a free coffee, I guess.
Well,
and what
not for 10, 12 hours, dude.
Getting punched for 12
It's just crazy. And that is the requirement for the job. But then to be like
that's essential skill, and now we're looking at
No, but then-
desired skills. Go on.
no, that's like the requirement, right? And then it's just like, that's a
Be an
requirement.
MMA
It's
fighter.
like- yeah, and then it's just like, do I have a decent wage? No. Do I have co-workers? No. Do I have... What is the benefit here? Society just doesn't care.
Well, Dan Andrews cares.
old Davy boy.
Old Davy boy.
Does he? Yeah, but he can't help.
No, he
He's
can.
in his own state.
I've heard this ad. I've heard this on AM radio where it said, New South Wales nurses, are you tired of getting treated awfully? Victoria cares. Come down to Victoria where we'll be giving you a much higher pay. We've got nurse-to-patient ratios, and then they just got interviews of people just being like, yeah, switch over. It's going to be great. It's
Genius.
They are
That's
North
genius.
Korean refugees at this point.
Dude, he's doing the wrong DeSantis thing. Like, if you're a police officer, I'm not saying you should move to Florida. All I'm saying is you've got a much higher tax bracket. We will give you a bonus for coming down here, and we don't hate police like over there in California. He's doing that.
Yeah, well, he's going further than that. He's saying, no, seriously, move down to Victoria.
That's genius.
And a lot of nurses are doing it.
Why wouldn't you?
Of course. Like, it's just, like, it's that. It's honestly just on one side of the border,
Hell.
And then on the other side of the border, normal public servant.
Yeah.
Which is purgatory, but still, that's better than hell.
It's still like a minimal requirement.
Yeah, minimal requirement.
Yeah.
That's all we're asking for, right? Just like livable salary.
Not hell, livable salary, like enough workers. Like you wouldn't be on a construction job and like 4 guys are building some apartment. There's like 50. In fact, in construction, there's usually like 20 sitting around smoking and like 50 working.
Yeah.
It's not happening there. They're
No,
it's just like
no smoke breaks there.
No, it's like you might have a second to lie down.
Throw
on a
back to
bed.
the inflated costs for infrastructure projects.
Yeah, I know.
actually
No,
part of
but
the
also, I remember this during the bushfires. When I started going on tour again, all of these people that were working in the emergency services, they were saying when they were on the border, right? So like your Albury, Wodongas and those kind of places, the people in New South Wales just kept coming up to me and saying, man, we saw Victorian emergency services in action. They were there faster. They actually had hoses that worked. They had trucks that worked.
Yeah. Remember the old Lithgow
Everything
fire trucks?
worked.
The old Lithgow fire trucks, these beaten up things from the 70s that are just like, the thing just dies. They're just like, come on, old Bessie. Remember that?
No, I wasn't there at that point.
You weren't
But
there.
yeah,
Sorry,
like,
sorry,
it's just,
sorry.
you know,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
cobbling together this old engine and just putting elastic bands around where the brake belt should be.
Sellotape.
I know. That's what's happening here. Like, this is how underfunded the public sector is in this state. And it all goes into those contracts.
And you look, I know the ins and outs of teachers as well because my missus is one. So I hear some of their conditions, and dude, it's very similar to nurses, which is why they're also dropping off.
Yeah,
I'm
but
not gonna go
come
into
on,
like
teachers deserve it. They were mean to me when I was 15.
Oh, no. They don't
they
deserve it.
don't deserve it,
but
man.
it's-
And like some of those, like
They have their own troubles.
for
I'm
example,
sure.
like look, man, like some
Yeah,
of
well,
these schools that these teachers
Miss
are.
Wilkinson should have let me wear a hat in class, and then maybe I might have been a bit more sympathetic.
And again, lastly,
Thinks you're very naughty to
Albo
this day.
also pointed to this, but there's like allegations of bushfire money being pork barreled into different parts of the country that aren't
Dude,
Labour
I
voters.
really hope Labour...
Allegations? No, that's in the budget, my
I'm
friend.
saying allegations because I don't have any money to fight legal cases.
Yeah.
Oh, this
But if-
law boy over here. That's smart.
If the
But I, on the other hand, can say whatever I like.
Well,
And I think that the bushfires were completely staged and all the emergency actors, there's crisis actors
you're
everywhere.
gonna be in a lawsuit. Like the chances are you'll be in court anyway. You might as well chuck more allegations. It's like just roll it on. Just keep it going.
At some point, surely I can plead insanity.
Australia's full of crisis actors. It doesn't exist.
Yep.
Earth is a cube.
That's a very interesting spin on the flat Earth one, and you're going to have to inform me about this.
I just
more.
took it from the meme.
Right, yeah.
First,
That no one knows that is listening to this podcast. But rest assured, it was a good meme.
Yeah. I guess sign up for the uplate. Just no.
No, just watch the other YouTube clip that comes out.
Oh yeah.
all right, our next segment, which is again a really popular, not again, one of the popular.
Why my ass is itchy. Hang on.
And this relates to
Oh,
Problem
Mislav
solved.
and his adventures.
Oh,
But
is it that time?
I've been told that you actually have an announcement before you do
Oh yeah.
misadventures.
Yes. Okay. I have a world announcement. Okay. Everyone listening. All right. I'm announcing the official relaunch of the infamous Twitch channel, Mislav's Musings. I got a young man to come back. I got a young man. It took me about a year, but I got him to come back, and he lent me his PC that is literally the size of my car in my room. He gave me a screen. He just lent me all this shit. He literally got me on it. He got me on Counter-Strike. I had one streamer, and I've officially done it, my restream, and he was like really into it. So sign up to Mislav's Musings for a not there's no specific time yet, so there's no there's no time coded specific period, but just keep an eye on it, and I'll be there playing games that lag still a little bit, but I'll be there. They still will be there. So
Actually,
my official Twitch
So
career
you're going to be a gamer?
Yeah.
I thought that you were just going to talk.
No, gaming.
Wow, he's got it all.
Yeah, gaming.
Yeah,
I'm
I
gonna be
call
a
you
gamer.
triple threat, but those are just 2 skills. But still,
Yeah.
it's getting there.
Yeah, so sign up to Mislav's Musings. No
Just do it
capitals,
in a
no
jacuzzi.
no punctuation, just that. And the one guy who was watching, we had a good conversation.
Was there one man?
Yeah, we talked, and I killed 2 people in
It
Counter-Strike.
wasn't the guy that set it up, was it?
No, he was in the...
That would be really sad.
He was in. We switched. He was in the background playing guitar, and then I would play guitar and just be like, "Yeah, it's cool, man," and then just get distracted. Like,
Wow, you've got guests?
I've had a guest.
Man, we've been doing this pod for 7 years and we haven't got guests.
So when this all goes tits up, and he's been killed, Ali's a famous lawyer, and you need an emergency broadcast, I will be broadcasting from my single room apartment at Mislav's Musings.
Actually, on that note, can I also make a request? If any of you out there, particularly the ones that are politically inclined and into world affairs and stuff, and would like to work with me pro bono because there's no money on Holsworthy Live, I would invite those offers.
is it? So you're going for it.
Yeah, but I need like a team. Anyways, but like initially
us
pro bono,
expanding.
and eventually we could make money. But the problem is,
Why do I always get chastised on this podcast for content farming and then you guys just chew up 10 minutes with infomercials?
It's the first time in 7 years. I think we can have
me too.
4 minutes of being like, my Twitch thing's live, Mislav's Musings. Will it fail? Definitely. I think I'm allowed that.
I'd love to see
know what
how
was
many
my-
Twitch streamers you get.
You know what was my well, I have 71 subscribers at the moment.
How did you get them?
I don't know, but you know what was my tagline, and I'm going to stick with it.
What?
So this is my tagline, because the guy was just being like, we could monetize, and this is what I just kept saying. I kept abusing the guy watching, saying, $100 a minute, $100 a minute. Every time I said that, I'd be like, nah, it's $100 a minute if you want to play. Didn't know how to police that like strategy, because I don't know how to do that. But I was just threatening him, like, no, it's $100 a minute. That's my tag. That's my tagline. And weirdly, because
You
Twitch
get
is
my thoughts for $100
a minute, and there's this weird tagline that was like, I don't know who wrote it, because I don't really know how Twitch works, because there's a photo. My photo on the Twitch account is me naked
with that small barbecue. Oh,
with
better.
the dog. Remember Sandy's dog?
Yeah.
Just holding her dog naked.
Yeah.
And for some reason, the
How have you not
tagline,
been banned?
I don't know, but the tagline said, just having fun with grandma, which I don't know what that means, but I'm just keeping
That's
that.
a way better tag than $100 a minute.
Well, that was like, what are you doing? It said having fun with grandma. So anyway, I hope it all works out. The problem is now I can't record music because I've got a different computer for that. So I have to unplug the one for music. So my music production will go down dramatically, but my gaming will go up. So,
Well, I always thought that this was your ticket to success.
Yeah,
so
well, that's-
it's great that it's actually materialized from not a metaphor to reality.
Well, look, I'm doing it out of spite because you were like, you could do it. I'm like, I can't do it. It'll be shit. I'm proving to you it'll fall on its ass. But let's find out.
Man, that is such a weird way into becoming a Twitch celebrity, isn't it?
Spite.
To prove my friend wrong.
That's why I'm doing it mainly.
Okay, can we just... Why? Why don't you want to
I
succeed?
want to succeed, but it's one of those things where it's like, I don't think it will, but I need to do it. Because, like, what if I'm like 70 one day and it's like, who would have known? Now Twitch is installed in our penises and it's live 24/7. But before that, imagine if I could have been great. So it's curiosity. It's not just hate. It's like, who knows? We should probably give this a whirl. And someone had to literally give me their computer and screen and keyboard and laptop.
And had to hassle you for a year.
Yes, and he will be taking that back in 6 months.
Wow,
so
now that's a recipe for success if I've ever seen one.
And he will be taking that hardware back in 6 months, at which point I'm going to be really scared. Because what do I do then? But
Yeah.
we'll cross that bridge when we come to it.
Okay,
Hopefully
so
you
it's
can
a
get your
limited
own
season.
hardware.
It's limited at the moment. It's 6 months.
Yeah.
That's all you're getting from Mislav.
And let's be honest, how many times are you going to go on it? 4 times?
Dude, you know what's crazy? I was doing it. I was like, yeah, this is a lot of hard work. I'd rather be sitting on my ass,
work.
like watching a movie or playing guitar. So I'm going to have to like pencil in time for this.
Well, at least you've
Pencil
got a
in
schedule.
time. Where are you going to get that from, Mislav?
Well,
It's gonna be
I've got a full-time
tough.
job. I've got a full-time job, so I'm going to have to start getting up earlier and putting in those hours to hassle people that it's $100 a minute, even though I don't know how to monetize it.
Mislav, the workaholic.
But are you kind of proud of me that I did it?
No,
I've gotta say,
not yet,
really,
Miss.
man.
Not
Like,
yet.
I gotta say,
Not yet.
like it just,
Damn it.
like I really thought that this would be something that was like, go on Twitch. Yeah, I've got a computer. Okay, I'll do it. And you do have all of those things, and you could have done it.
No, I tried.
because you can't sit through YouTube.
No, I told you I couldn't do it.
Because YouTube shoots are boring.
No.
That was your reason.
Every computer I have is deficient for one. I'm not moving on from this. We're not done yet. Every computer I have has some deficiency. This is what happened. The young man, his name's Nelson, shout out. He came over, and when he started doing it, he was like, all right, this is what we'll do. We'll try your laptop. Tried the laptop. He's like, okay, this thing is a laptop, a thingy, what's it called? A Mac Air. It basically has enough RAM to hold like a couple of Jamie Oliver recipes. So he's like, yeah, that's not going to happen. That's done. That's not possible. It's just not going to, he can't install half the shit he needs for it. He goes, let's go for the desktop, which is my other computer. This is what happened. And I knew I had some viruses, but I didn't know there were viruses. But anyway, proper viruses. But he logs in, he's like, why is Bing just turning up every time I log into them? I'm like, it's just been fucked for a while. I don't know. And he's just like, have you know that these are quite severe viruses, right? And I'm like, yeah. I didn't know they were severe. I know they're viruses. And he's like, how long have you had these for? And I go, I don't know, a couple of years. And he goes, you don't do any banking on these on this computer, do you? And I'm like,
Well, just all of
maybe.
it.
And then he's just like, well, that's not your bank details anymore. And neither are your songs. This has been siphoned into a Zimbabwean like scam company for the last 2 years.
And you know what saved
Man,
Miss
it's
Love?
so good that you have no money. You are so lucky.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. What saved Miss Love was his bank.
Yeah, exactly.
And you know what?
Just people in Zimbabwe just being like, this poor man. I'm going to put money in his account.
And so he said, not only can, and he also, that Mac Mini's screwed. So he's like, not only is this capable of Twitch streaming, you need to wipe this computer and factory reset it now. He turned it off straight away. He's like, it's a liability that I was on it. They might be watching us right now through the camera. And I was just like, and I did do that. So I wiped the computer.
You did it or he did it?
No, another friend did it.
Yeah.
But the point is, I tried hard to get Twitch going on those two completely screwed computers.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yes.
And
And you're demanding pride for this.
Yeah, well, what do you want?
Because I tried.
What? You
I tried as hard as I could.
You haven't done
I
anything.
tried as hard as I could.
SBS job in the hole
Yeah.
all over again.
You had
How did I
one?
not try?
You had
How
one-
did I not? Tell me how I didn't try. Tell me.
You sat there while someone else did everything for you.
Yes, but he couldn't do it. So
Yeah,
even
and
if
then-
I
and then
tried,
this is your trying. Someone
Yeah.
else came over and you're like, oh, can you reset my computer?
No.
Well, I
and
wouldn't know how to do
was
it.
his-
I wouldn't know how to do
So
it.
he gets
I'm not capable.
someone else comes and sets it up. They give him the hardware.
That's now.
He does stream, but he still has to do it in shifts with the other guy who's done all of this. And the one time that he's on stream, the one person that watches, he says, "Pay me $100 a minute."
Why do you think
or
I'm
else."
doing this? Why do you think I'm not doing it for the good old days of Counter-Strike? I'm 33. I'm monetized.
Have you ever heard of patient investment in something?
I mean, it was a jocular statement, but you know there was truth.
Yeah,
in
there
every,
was truth
There's
to
a
it.
truth in every joke. So I think I'm the hardest working person on the internet. You know, you're not setting your own shit up either.
Anyway, there's no better
Yeah,
way
but-
to. There's no better point to start with MisAdventures than
Yeah, but
that.
don't be a hypocrite, Jordan, with your you didn't set it up. Tech's a scary world. I was lucky.
Yeah, look.
In a way, I owe you a huge.
Dude, you're lucky.
Dude, in a way, I owe you a huge thank you.
Oh, in a way.
Because yes, in a way, roundabout way.
Yeah, right.
Because I was
Not
still-
directly. It's
No.
not like you employ me.
Well,
or give me.
I'm not talking about life. I'm talking about specifically my computers here. You.
Yeah. Bought you a computer.
Oh, well, that was nice too. Thanks. But I worked it off, so, really. But anyway, so...
Worked it off?
Yeah, I worked it off. So,
By existing.
Oh my god.
So I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about, what I'm talking about is the fact that if you hadn't said to go on Twitch, I would probably still be using a malware hyper virus infected computer being like weshback.com. It's so slow.
Do you understand that, Jordan?
I'll give you that.
If it wasn't for you,
Yes.
he would be using a mouse.
No.
And that's the only thanks I've ever gotten.
Well, actually, I mean, look, I worked the computer off and the computer got the malware, so now we're at square one again. Maybe I shouldn't thank you for a thing.
In fact, if anything, he owes you.
Here's the misadventures. I got a piss.
That was a misadventure. That already was.
Did I tell you that story ever?
Yeah.
Oh, okay,
Yeah. But I'm glad that you rekindled it.
Yeah. You should be proud.
Proud.
Hash, please.
Get the video up.
Oh, now
you got some
why don't
video,
you want
do
to?
you,
Do you want to come back and then we can do it?
Yeah, well, we'll just give you a preview of what you can get if you sign up to Up Late. You will get us talking, but you will also get footage that Mislav, I think, puts on Instagram for free anyway, but it's also behind a paywall.
No, he doesn't put up that footage. So if you want video edits of these misadventures, then you've got to become a patron, and then you'll be able to access them along with the uplates and all the other stuff. Uplate, dude, I think our patron page is. If you like the pod, then it's worth it. If you don't like the pod, then
It's probably not for you.
Yeah, it's probably not
pay
for you.
for it.
But if you do like it, there's heaps of extra content, and we're introducing more stuff just because the cost of living is affecting us. And if you're poor like us, then don't worry.
Oh shit.
But if you are rich, become a patron, please.
Just before you get
This week, just in case you missed last week's installment, I pulled some strings to get Mislav Balabragic, let's be honest, not primo seats.
you can say that again.
Do you want me to play the video before, Miss, or after?
Your call, Jordan.
Yeah, let's play it after.
After.
And this week's Misadventures, he went to the Harry Styles concert, and I'm assuming that hilarity ensues, but I guess we'll all be at home the judge of that. His first entry is, it begins, already getting sort of weird looks at Lidcombe train station. A lot of teenagers in pink cowboy hats and pink dresses. It's a sea of young girls and a few peppered Indian men looking confused and sad. I don't think they were going to the Harry Styles
No, I don't
concert. I think
think so
they were
either.
just going to work.
I think they're toolies.
Oh, you did?
Please.
Can't afford the tickets to Harry Styles, but they can afford the train ticket.
Well, they can afford any. No, I'm not going to say.
Better side with me, Indian men. Wish me luck. I'm going in.
No, I better side with them.
Yes. I look dangerously unfabulous. What is it with you and thinking that you need to be in disguise in all of these misadventures?
I was stuck out like a sore thumb.
What
I'm
were you wearing?
Pretty much this.
He's saying right now, he's wearing a long denim... You own a long denim sleeve shirt?
Yeah.
What are you, a cowboy? What?
I dabble.
I mean, before when I was joking before when I said that you should live in Townsville, but now I'm serious about that. I look like Neil Young. If anyone asks, I'm with my daughter. But there was no daughter there.
No.
It's not the best disguise, I've got to say.
You're right, yeah. I didn't think that one through that well.
This is insane. This is what the early Beatles shows were like. 1 million horny, crazy teenage girls. The screams are literally deafening. Insanity. I'm getting a beer. How many beers did you get?
I had 2 beers. I had 2 beers and 1 chips on a stick.
And it cost more than the ticket.
Pretty much.
For sanity, I need to get a beer.
Wait, did you tell him where I went yet?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, so
okay.
Mislav went to a Harry Styles.
Just because you're in the toilet, like this podcast still goes.
Thought time stopped.
And then he put his glasses on. Great. Do we have filmographic proof of that?
Possibly, yeah, I think the thing that I just that Ali will play, I think.
Well, as the Spanish would say, excelente.
I think, yeah.
This is insanity. So many screams. Played Bohemian Rhapsody.
I thought it was the intro, but it wasn't. Yeah, anyway. They played Bohemian Rhapsody. I'm like, they're playing that as the intro song. And then the next song just was like horses. I'm like, that people just love that song so much that they'll just sing it like they're dying.
So much Pink.
She's really obsessed with Pink.
A lot of Aussie, oi, oi, oi. A lot of gay flags. I literally can see barely any of him singing. Girls are all singing too loud. It's Beatlemania.
I put my earplugs in. It's too loud.
That's amazing that you just have them like a teenager has a condom in his wallet.
I do.
And coming prepared.
At all times.
And you think you have hearing problems.
Hey, that's so true. How come only teenagers have condoms in their wallets?
Because I think when you get older, you're like, I'll risk it.
That's also true.
Because you don't have to sit in a class called PD when really all it is some gym teacher being like, just wear a condom, all right? All right? Or we're going to put it on this banana one more time. We know how to put it on.
I'm putting on one right now as you speak.
Yeah, I think I tried to do that once. Just put it on my flaccid penis. It was like, the banana's a better idea.
Jesus.
I befriended a Polish woman. She bought me a beer. So you only pay for one of these beers?
Only one?
Dude, you go in. Of course you were going to find a girl over there.
She was like in her 50s, but yeah. So
Well,
basically,
that's your thing.
This is what happened. I sat down and a woman looked at me and said, "Did you break in here?" And I said, because I was obviously looking scared, and I said, No, I didn't break in here. I just don't know what I'm doing here. And then she was like, "What are you doing here?" I'm like, a friend just bought me a ticket. And she was like, "Okay." And she was there with her 17-year-old daughter. And because it was so far away, and it was such a bizarre experience, and basically, the girl was just like, "I'm gonna scream really loud, so if you want to move here, like, I'm just warning you." And I was just like, "Look, scream to your heart's content. I'm not like I don't want to ruin this for you." And she proceeded to kind of, I might have written it in there, but she proceeded to get up at the first song, and there was like, there's like barriers next to the steps so you don't fall off the stadium or whatever. She just grabbed onto those and just jumped up and down and screamed and yelled and sung every single song till the beginning till the end. And then occasionally her mum would be like, "Do you want some more?" And she'd be like, "I can't talk to you right now." And just like, it was mania. It was a cult.
How nice is she to warn you about that?
It was lovely. I was like, thanks. And
self-aware lady.
And actually,
isn't it just really, because I've never had that inkling in my life. I'm just going to get up and scream and shout until my heart's... I've never had that.
And you know what's crazy? I had another...
That's depressing, Jordan.
That's Jordan's life. You know what's crazy? Another one of my friends went the day after, and apparently there was a girl behind her that was
passed out?
No, but she was like 10 years old, and she would periodically scream, but it was kind of like... like ticks, like... And then... My friend turned around and said, literally after like a few songs, was like, "You don't have to scream that loud, okay? It's really distracting. That's ridiculous." Schooled her. So I got lucky. I was okay. I got a free beer. I was shooting the shit with her mum. Like, I was all right. The seat wasn't bad, man. You got me in the right seat. It could have been a lot more like that.
Really, we tried to look for the worst seat. I guess all the bad ones were gone by then.
The seats were terrible, but the people sitting next to me were chill,
This is his conclusion about the night. You ready for this profound piece? You ready for this? You ready for this? Harry Styles must be loaded. Why did you think that?
Dude.
What was the giveaway? Dude. Was it the 80,000 people attending?
It was the 80,000 people. Summer tickets were 300 each. The merch tents were like packed.
Not only
2 nights in a row. The production value was nothing, just some lights.
Yep. Not only is he loaded, I think he is the highest earning under 30 person in the world at the moment.
Overall, I'd give the show a 5.5 out of 10. Wow.
Why 5?
I think that beats the Tame Impala concert. You were very disappointed with that.
Why just 5? Was the show not good?
So, let's read my analysis. Is that what you're going through?
Well, I'm going through it just periodically.
Read that, because it's all in there.
He's a funny guy, is he?
He's pretty funny. He does this thing where in the show, he goes up to people and is like, now's the time where we read out the signs. They're like, ah! And it's just like, right. What's your name? Sally? Sally, right. Sally wants to show us a photo of her cat. Go on, all right, show us Sally. And then 80,000 people zooms into a photo of the cat. And then she's just like, what's that, Sally? He poots in the shower. This is a family show, Sally. A family show. And then he goes, or is it? And then everyone goes, and then like, you know, he was kind of funny. Like, he seems like a sweet man. You know, he thanked all the camera people and the like, they did the thing where it was like, the people that come here long before us and leave long after, the dude who points the camera at me, and then zooms in on some guy, and he's just like, yeah, that's nice.
Wow.
That's nice.
Is he Ringo Starr's son?
Pretty much.
So he's got the Thomas the Tank Engine accent.
Yeah, he's from the north.
It's so funny.
Like, he's a nice, I think it was a good analysis. Read it.
There's somewhat of a manufactured element to his whole thing. I enjoyed it, but maybe it's the corporate/manufactured nature of One Direction, or that, honestly, I don't think he's a great singer. What?
He hasn't got a good voice. He's got the same voice as me. It's like quite flat. It's not amazing.
It's just my same theory all the time. It's just like musicians are great comedians and comedians are great musicians.
I just don't think he has a great voice, but anyway.
He's got there's some cool songs, I guess. But I can't help but think it's interesting what makes a celebrity, and I guess we'll have to can't read the vast majority of the rest of this. It really is just that, dear mate, maybe it's the beer talking, but you got a butt that won't quit. And also on top of that, like, he's clearly hammered here. Like, it's just pages of him talking about how much he likes Harry Styles. Mislav would never say that sober.
Go on.
It all seems to be a tad Australian Idol-y, just a tad. But I guess that's where he came from. Well, I don't think he came from Australian Idol.
Guy Sebastian.
This teeny bopper music is very corporate, but it could be worse. And the crazy energy is cool. So much youthful screaming. So, yeah, you can tell the exact moment where the beers started kicking in. Because all it is just him complaining about how much they're screaming. You know, it's very loud. And then he's just like, no, they've got every right, you know, they're young, they're having fun, who am I to judge? It was fine for what it is, but there's something I'm just not getting, and let's be honest, it's because I'm a 33-year-old man. You are being very lenient.
I don't know.
I don't know why. Like, I really expected you to be filled
know.
with vitriol, but it sounds like you've already bought your tickets to the next concert.
No, I think that, like, that was...
No,
like,
you're more of a Zayn Malik fan. Yeah,
that was
enough.
like a post-show thing, so maybe I was being too nice or something, but there is a lot of me saying it's loud.
And then, look at this. Like, he's gotten really drunk at this point. Like, the gay flags are getting to him, because now he finishes it off with, he's cute.
He's cute.
Seems nice. Good sense of humour. What's not to like? Cheers, Harry.
Oh, there you go.
And that was the end.
Yeah, I mean,
think we're off air. Hang on.
No, we're good.
Well, this is good to know.
I broke the internet.
Doesn't look like it.
My review broke the internet. I don't know, man. Like, it was very... Look, I probably didn't, like, stress enough. It was a very, 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 very strange experience. Very
I think
strange.
we got that in the papers.
It was just... I don't know. But I think that I have to kind of... Look, you could take me to, like, anything that's a show. You could take me to, like, you know, any show, I don't know, sort of like Les Miserables or whatever the that is. And I'd be like, look, I liked some of the costumes. I think I'm like a very, like, lenient audience member. It was like, it was like an acid trip. It was just very fucking weird. I didn't belong there, and it was really strange to see how the teenage hormones is lucrative. Like, they just empty their wallets. You know, I don't find him particularly attractive, and I think his voice is But it's just that they're just like, I remember him from when I listened to One Direction, I guess. Like, I don't get it.
He is a good-looking man.
Is
like,
he?
Come on,
he
have
looks
to
like
admit it.
every like
Yeah, but
teenager
he's got, like,
ever.
the whole long hair. Man,
I think his tattoos are
I don't
weird.
even need no rainbow flags to come up with that. He's a good-looking individual.
Yeah,
Yeah,
They had-
halfway through, Miss, you started saying that he was attractive, and now you're going back on your word.
I think that
What would you rate his appearance?
Look, I think that I expected. I'd rate his appearance a 5 out of 10. I expected.
Damn.
I expected.
Harsh.
I think I had. I think I had really low expectations. Yeah. And then they were kind of like, "Hey, it wasn't too bad. Like these girls, they got a lot of pep in their step. At least they're not on drugs, you know. Like I don't know. I was kind of just like,
So,
yeah.
were there any women that weren't teenagers? Were they like
Some, yeah, there was some.
30-year-olds?
Well, the crazy thing is, I posted on Instagram a picture of the thing there, wrote, "What the fuck am I doing here?" Which you can get on the Up Late sign up extracurricular stuff. But turns out through that there was like 6 or 7 like women I know that are like our age that are like, "We love you, Harry." So there are a lot of female fans that just love him, unironically.
Dude, do you reckon like
So he's just a bad gauger. You looking at 40-year-old women and being like, God, what are all these teeny boys?
There was a lot of
Maybe
there was
it's a
so
good-
many people. It was just overwhelming. My serotonin
Hey,
was
Miss,
I was just like,
was it a good place to pick up women? I mean, the legal age ones.
It would be very.
Some of those Indian men had to go, hey.
Probably,
And
look,
it's funny that the Indian man asked that question.
I mean, because of the I forgot to send some more. It doesn't matter. Because of the
Okay, well, sorry.
yeah, play the thing, but because of you know, the range of ages, I don't know. No, it's not a good place to pick up. I think it's a very dangerous place to pick up women.
All right,
But,
so Mislav
Yeah,
sent
you'd
me-
definitely be killing their vibe at that point. I think they're just out to... It's the same problem that you face when you go to clubs.
Hey, you might like this story. I didn't write this one down. After that, I met my friend who was there, and you know, accident. I thought there was no one in the disabled toilet, so I opened it, and there was someone in there sitting down. And then I ran away. I ran out of the pub and ran home. I was like, I'm out of here. F this. That's how the night ended.
How did you miss that part?
I didn't write that part down, but that happened.
That's funny, dude.
And then
Did he look shocked? Of course it was a she,
And she
yeah.
was like, "What are you doing?" And I was just like, "I didn't," and just ran out of the pub. Just ran away. I ran out of it.
You're like,
You should have just said, come on, it's a bigger bowl than the other one. We can both go to the show.
hey, I'm on deck, Caesar.
Yeah. If you can move your legs, just move them to the side. I think that you're faking it, frankly.
You know what's
I've got a
weird?
disability.
You know-
My ears are distorted.
You know, it was a strange thing too that I told Jordan. Right, I was catching the train yesterday because I went to another concert yesterday, but it was just a different one.
Dude, how
Harry
dude,
Styles, too.
How do you manage with all the workload you?
Yeah. How are you going to sit on your ass?
It's
For money.
It's not easy. But there was still like I caught the train home yesterday, and at like Redfern Station, it was like below like empty, but like that sort of deserty, like westerny, like you know, it was
Yeah.
like hot heat.
Yes.
And there was just they're called boas. I found out. Do you know what a boa is?
No.
Do you know what a boa is?
Yeah, the thing that drag queens put around their neck.
Yeah. So everyone, I guess that, dude, this is another crazy
Cultural
thing.
homosexual man.
Yeah,
strikes
of course.
again.
You were at the show.
I
I know you
know
were at the show.
about
You're
it.
at the front. In the
Did you
watermelon
need one? You should have asked me.
in the watermelon sugar area. Yay, only $500. So like a friend of mine went twice in a row and is considering flying to New Zealand for the third show.
Considering.
Anyway, they have some group that's like everyone going to Harry Styles, and I guess they were like, you can't come unless you have a feather boa. Obviously, I didn't get that intel, but everyone's wearing these things, and I was catching the train home yesterday, like a few days after, and just caught in the plants of Redfern Station. You know, plants sometimes grow out of the station. It's not kept or whatever. All along, there's just multicolored feather boas feathers just stuck in the plants going in the wind.
Oh, wow. So it's just integrated into our environment seamlessly.
Yeah, who knew Harry Styles
The
was bad for
rubbish
the
left
environment?
over was insane.
Jesus, isn't Sydney fabulous enough? Do we
Apparently
really
not.
need
Apparently
to choke
not.
what little environment remains in the city?
Apparently not. We're just taking it, destroying the last part.
All right,
but
let's
yeah.
let's watch the
I
video.
bet you could just walk around there and all the possums would be wearing makeup.
I don't know.
Oh, it is deafening.
Put it up, Ali. You got to keep it loud. Louder than that, please.
Oh my
I
god!
think that's enough because I'm pretty sure we're gonna get flagged for copyright.
Yeah, I think that's copyright straight up. But whatever.
Did you hear the screams?
I think I did. Yeah.
Dude, it got worse than that.
Whoa!
It was like at a point where it was just like, like I couldn't hear what he was singing. There was parts where he's like, he's not. It was the Beatles. It was just, it was really scary.
On Harry Styles' next tour, he will be sitting there just being like, I have had such a good time in Sydney. You need to know Auslan.
Hey, did he do?
Yeah, but he's going to have to start doing it. He's deaf.
Miss, did he do a shoey at the end?
No, but he was just like, it's our guitarist's birthday. Jimbo Jones, happy birthday. Got him a cake. Should he do a shoey? Yeah. And then his guitarist did a shoey. But apparently,
just do a shoey, Harry. Come on, how much do you make? $5 million?
I think he did do a shoey.
He did one in Melbourne.
Melbourne
he did one in Melbourne.
That's why people are now expecting
Melbourne
him
gets
to
all
do
the
it.
good stuff, don't they? Every
There's also
time.
this weird thing of like, apparently a lot of the people that come to Australia don't want to do shoeys, but
Yeah,
they
but
get.
screw those
that's
people.
very strange.
Screw those people. That's what I saw on Triple J.
it
They were
is-
like,
there
this is
are-
a big problem. Why do we do shoeys? It's like, it's hilarious. Why would you want to stop that? That is like the funniest export to the
I've
world.
got one
How
reason.
can you say that you represent Australian youth culture and then on shoeys?
Well, maybe because of the bacteria. Have you thought of that?
Whatever.
Yeah, I've thought about it, and frankly, I don't care.
Same.
As long as I don't have to do one.
I'll do one and like it.
Yeah, you did one.
Well,
on
we'll
the
finish
pod.
the pod with that.
I already did one last time.
Well, yeah, we're out of tricks, aren't we?
I'll do another one.
All right.
Anyway, did you enjoy? I mean, I don't know if you were looking. I feel like the video spoke for itself.
Yeah. I just don't understand why you weren't screaming. Like, even then, I felt like screaming.
Dude,
I guess.
every single person was screaming. I was sitting there scared with my glasses and earplugs in, just looking around, being like, just drinking.
You know what's amazing? You looked more comfortable in the Harry Styles one than you did at Tame. I don't know how that happened.
You know why? It's all expectation. Tame, I was like, it's going to be the best show of my life. It was not that. So I was just like, unbelievable. And then this, I was like, it's going to be the worst show ever. And I'm like, yeah, he's got a tight bum. he does these moves a lot. You know, it's cute, I guess.
it is kind of good.
This. He goes, ooh. Those
Hey,
ones like, oh, I'm just so happy. Yeah, he's not a good dancer, but they just love him. They love him. It's just ridiculous. It's just, dude, it literally was a thing
Can we, come on, guys. Like,
I've grown.
we're jealous of Harry Styles.
Definitely.
Right?
Yes.
Yeah, of course I'm jealous. I'm pretty
Harry
sure he could buy
Styles?
Australia. He could, dude, that's another thing.
Harry Styles is a definition of what people should be jealous of. A global rock star, filthy rich.
It doesn't make
with
rock music.
Every girl
Yeah, with a
or woman in the
100%
world.
female audience.
100%. Do you remember what I told
Dude,
you?
you
when
were saying that as if it's a bad thing.
That's probably why I don't have a
These-
100%
these-
female audience. I didn't mean that. I thought that was mad.
It's not even
I would
a
really
per-
like that
He's
as
not-
opposed to the army of neckbeards.
Exactly.
Yeah, that hates you too.
Yeah, that hate me as well. That's the other thing. They just sit there and then after a show come up to me and be like, that joke in the middle fell a bit flat, mate. It's just like, this isn't the same atmosphere as Harry Styles attracts, I've got to say.
Do you remember?
But thanks for that, man. I definitely do not want to have sex with.
Be loyal when it comes to being fans of people. Guys,
Yeah, guys are not.
dude, they are not.
They are looking for any
do
reason to
anything.
shaft
Do you remember what I told you when you called me after the concert?
No.
I said, hey man, I just thought I should let you know. I think you and I, and all of us, we're actually on the same level here. We're all failures. We will never, ever, ever get to anything like a 50th of that level. So I just left that to just be like, well,
Maybe we're
I'm a
just doing
failure.
the wrong game. Like, all right, let's try this next
Do you
time.
wanna do
Let's
a
all
dan-
just
you
go
do a
in
Harry Styles
in
dance at the end of the
glittery
pod.
spandex. I'll do a Harry Styles thing at
Yeah.
the end, but we should all just come in glittery spandex the next time and
Okay.
maybe just tone back on the discussion about New South Wales infrastructure projects just a bit.
I wonder why we're not.
Yeah, wonder why we ain't getting
Can
it.
you imagine if they were just like, ladies and gentlemen, Harry Styles has unexpectedly cut out because he got coronavirus or whatever. Oh, boo. So instead, please enjoy the comedy stylings of the Friendlyjordies podcast. Can you imagine?
Yeah. Oh,
Can you
dude,
imagine
the booze,
the hatred?
It'd be a riot. 80,000 people's a city. It'd be a riot.
Well, I don't think anyone ever has been strangled by a boa before.
Killed by a bunch of.
But Harry, you have to admit it'd be a good meme, and I'd be willing to die.
Also,
for it as
you've
well.
also completely ruined me. I don't know what you've done to me, but I have since listened to some Harry Styles on Spotify. What is happening to me? I like
That's
some
my
of,
boy.
I like some of his songs. There's a song called "As It Was" or something, and I like it. I like the fucking song. I'm just like,
Yes.
why did you do
This is high
to
school
me?
all over
You
again
just-
when I got him hooked on Hillary.
Yeah, it is. It's just every 10 years. And now my impeccable indie cred is just gone.
Yeah,
now
you got nothing.
Now you look at my Spotify and it's like Miles Davis, like Tame Impala, like, I don't know, Mac DeMarco, Britney Spears. It's just screwed. It's just like, I think my algorithm's like, we think you would enjoy Taylor Swift. And I'm like,
Probably.
how do you know me so well, Spotify?
And you have to admit, in Move FM, there was Taylor Swift songs where you sat there and you were like, look, I got to admit, the girl makes hits.
She does. Some of those breakup songs are all right.
And
like
the-
the one that she
they're at
did
least
with
accurate.
the
And-
Twilight guy when she broke up with him.
She dated the
crazy.
Twilight guy?
Not the one that you're thinking of, the other one that you're not thinking of. She dated him.
Okay, yeah. That's actually a really good way to describe the guy I'm not thinking of.
yeah, exactly.
It immediately emerges in your head and you're just like, yeah, I wonder what... You're a male stripper now, hey?
Hey, boys, we're running out of time, but great misadventure, miss.
Did you like that?
Next
Well, it
week,
was an adventure.
next week, there's going to be something else. So stay tuned. And if you want
Yeah,
to
but
see...
we don't know what it is. So, guys, give us your suggestions because, look, I'll admit, I'm out. I've got nothing. I think Mislav's done everything you can in Sydney.
Mosques, Harry Styles.
All right, the next one is next Mardi Gras. You can be on one of the floats.
Mad. I'll do that. But I think that's in like a while, right? I just missed that boat.
a year.
All right.
All right, why don't you just march down Oxford Street now
With
and then
Mr.
just
Crackles a sandwich. Like,
Mr. Crack, but just a thong on, and then just have a sign up while you've just got that. Just be like, it's Mardi Gras 2, Mardi Gras 2, holding up traffic. That's a misadventure.
yes, it is.
Sydney traffic wasn't delayed
That's
enough.
one I'll need a lot more prescription drugs for to do.
All right. Well, look. So something happened on commercial television the other day while they were speaking of Mardi Gras. On the project, there was a young budding
They're
gay
homophobic.
comedian.
I knew it.
I knew it.
A young budding gay comedian came on and he cracked a Jesus as in the one who died for our sins,
Jesus.
joke, Yesu, and immediately the project had to apologize
amazing.
and said, we understand. And because it was Walid, he said, the hurt it has caused to Christians and Muslims,
Finally.
but particularly Christians.
Man, why does he have to apologize for that, but he doesn't have to apologize for dismissing some union guy dying on site and being like, yeah, that's a civil suit, who cares?
And you wonder why we don't have female following when that's what you were concerned by. It's like, why is he apologizing for this and not this esoteric
and
union?
construction worker disrespect.
So they had to apologize. Now I'm going to say
We are
what the
so unfemale friendly.
Oh,
aren't
it's
we?
bad. Yeah, dude. Yes, we are.
I'm going to tell you guys the joke that I think he cracked. I'm not too sure because he's
Okay.
gay, but he's a man. Like I don't know, but like you know what I mean. So
No.
Just
he's a LGBT person.
Yeah.
But so he.
Oh, really? I couldn't tell from the picture. Thank you for clarifying.
And I'm trying to like not go down that path, but anyway, so the joke that they cracked was and tell me if this is something that they need to apologize for.
Uh-huh.
Actually, I'm going to read it out in case I don't do justice to it, just in case I think it's the best joke ever made.
You use it for your stand-up.
Well, I've got some holes in the show.
Okay. I love Jesus. Kai said, I love any man who can get nailed for 3 days straight and come back for more.
That's a good joke.
You're a fan?
That's not bad, dude. That's not bad.
Are you offended, Mislav,
No.
considering you're a Catholic?
Catholic.
I take that with good humor. You know, it's all about being able to laugh at yourself.
Yeah.
I like that. I mean, it's a pretty funny joke. That's a funny joke.
I think, you know what my view is? Apparently
Like,
the reason
Jesus
they
has been dead for a
apologized
while.
was immediately.
It's time to laugh.
Yeah.
I think immediately after the joke was cracked on social media, there was a lot of like, that was offensive. But I honestly think that it's not that the joke is offensive. Maybe to some Christians it would be, but it's more of a reaction of like, off. But it's more, I think the point that some of these social media guys were making was, how are you allowed to make jokes about that, but we aren't allowed to make
like the
jokes
double standards
about the LGBT? I think that's the main sort of thing.
Well,
Because
that's
the
your
joke,
different argument.
I don't think is that offensive. And that joke could be cracked in pretty much, as long as you don't do it at a church, it'll be fine.
Yeah, but this is what's so good about ratings now. I didn't realize this, but every news show has completely tanked badly. I think a really good comparison is Four Corners. If it did a real banger for their standards 18 months ago, 900,000. Now, it'd be lucky to get 300,000. So a lot of these
we don't know
audiences
why
are struggling.
either.
Yeah, neither. It's just such
No,
a...
it's the net, right? Surely it's just the net.
Yeah, I think it
It's-
is. I think it's just like TikTok's that addictive.
Yeah.
TikTok is addictive, but it's also you're so spoiled for choice now.
Yeah. You
Yeah.
don't have
And
to
the problem is like, well, not the problem, but the thing is like, okay, there's a million streaming services. I might not have, bought all of them, but I know people that have them. So like, I actually don't even pay for a single one, but I've got Amazon Prime, I've got Netflix, I've got Paramount Plus, I've got Stan,
Not enough.
and I don't even pay for one of them. But you're so spoiled for choice, and it's
Yeah.
because they do like the reason I have Paramount is because apparently whoever does Paramount also has some soccer games that my brothers have subscribed to.
Yeah.
So I get Paramount. Amazon, because one of my brothers gets Amazon delivery, so I've got Amazon. So there's just so much choice. Why would I watch
The Project.
the project and like watch those stupid Harvey Norman ads half of the time?
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's the
especially when
biggest
they had to retool and then it's just like featuring the all-new cast. I
is
can't
it?
remember their names.
Do you know what they should do? I think this is weirdly going to... Okay, so you can do commercial radio because there's regional areas and very old people that will probably
Move
watch
FM.
that.
Hey, young people, Move
However,
FM.
my biggest concern with commercial television isn't necessarily the content. Sometimes, tell me if you guys agree with this, for people listening in. Sometimes I don't want the streaming content. Sometimes I want good old TV.
Agreed.
Man, after a
But-
stand-up show, there's nothing more I enjoy than coming home with
Yeah.
my good old mate, Seven Mate.
But
Daytime
what do
TV,
you
yeah.
hate the most about it? Not even the content.
Ads.
You watch the content to shit on it. That's kind of why you're watching it in the first place. The ads.
Yeah, the ads.
If they just do the same TV channels,
I'd watch
if they
it.
do a Foxtel like whatever, which I guess they already do without ads, is there a
Man.
way to do it without ads? Can they monetize some other way?
No. That is why commercial television exists. Because they have people sitting down watching it that they pretend aren't just TVs running in Bing and they say someone's watching this at the moment right now, so they will definitely see your ad. So if you've got 400,000 people watching, those 400,000 people are going to see your ad. That's how they sell it.
There is like some value to commercial television. Like now that
Is
we've
there?
got so much, look, I'll tell you what. Now that we've got so much news, like we're kind of doing a newsy podcast as well.
Yeah.
There's so much of it that when I see one of those old school news guys that are wearing a suit and speaking in a certain accent,
You in the future.
I'm like, I'm in. I'm like, okay, I want to hear the rest of this shit.
But also, when you are watching it, don't you think that you're just like, I'm watching something corporate? Like, it's just like you don't believe what you're saying. You don't know what you're saying.
No,
You're just reading it off of it.
But that's because they have identified that only people that are in nursing homes are watching them. So that's why it's getting super corporate. Because
No, it was always like that. It was always like that. It was always like that. It was.
Okay. Yeah,
But like,
They're still talking like they did back in the 50s.
Yeah,
Which seems really strange in today's environment where everybody's so candid on their camera.
yeah.
I think, you know what I'm really scared about is just how much everything is getting fractured. It's like, I actually do empathize with the mainstream media argument once, and I cannot believe I'm saying this, but if all eyeballs are just, there's 10 people watching this, 5 people watching that, how do you get any message out?
Well, not only message.
That's
Remember
true,
when we
that's
were
true.
like kids? Shit that would they would show on live TV. Everyone would be talking about it the next day if it was a big event.
Yeah.
If it was like a particular Simpsons episode, it was like.
Well, that was
and
every
now,
day.
the closest thing that we get to that community bond is like, did you see Game of Thrones ending? Maybe. Or sports. Sports is still doing it.
Sports still a good one.
Sports is still killing it in that. Like, but other than
Actually,
that, like,
sports
there's
the
no
only one.
community feel.
You know what? Sports isn't killing it.
What do you mean?
Well, State of Origin used to get 4 million. I think it didn't even crack 1 million this year.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's maybe
That's
a State
NRL.
of Origin issue.
Yeah,
that's
maybe
not
NRL.
a
Well, you think
sport
that what
issue.
Australian Open's doing just as
For
well as it did in the
sure.
Yeah,
80s?
yeah, for sure, for
maybe
sure.
not.
In
Maybe
fact,
not.
more. They're doing more.
Wow.
Every like cricket.
Well, actually, no,
they're
you
making
are
more money
right
now.
because that's Murdoch's saving grace. Like he kind of just
Soccer.
floats everything with realestate.com and he's trying to get this sports streaming service running.
Also, I decided not to talk about this particular topic because I still think it's a developing story. But are you following Murdoch's revelations? Because he's getting into some legitimate, serious legal issues now. So in one of the proceedings, he said he knows that some Fox News presenters knowingly lied about election dates. And once he said that, that actually does put him into some legal issues. Because if he had known that they were purposely lying, then he is liable in that spreading misinformation. So that's why I didn't want to bring it up because it's still a developing story, but that's something to keep an eye on. It's pretty interesting. There's a possibility, I'm not saying it's going to happen, but there is a slight possibility that Murdoch Empire could go bankrupt, depending on how many other revelations we get and if there's a proper inquiry into it.
Nah,
Maybe,
come on. Like
maybe.
he survived the hacking scandal. He's not going to.
Not bankrupt. They say it could lead to death by 1,000 wounds because there could be so many lawsuits that keep coming in that eventually he's potentially looking at, again, we'll talk about this in detail as the story develops, but he's potentially looking at about $50 billion worth of lawsuits, which even for him is a lot of money.
That's the
Man,
price of West
slap
Connects.
suits affect us all. Huh?
That's the price of West Connects.
Yeah. Far out.
Yes.
All right, I think that's it for today.
Yeah,
Jordan.
I guess that's it. Jesus Christ.
I
That's-
think we
you can't-
close.
Yeah, you just.
I think we close on a close up of Jordan giving us his best Harry Styles dance. We also need the subs.
All right. Just imagine that Harry Styles music is going on.
Do you want me to do it?
Thank you. What does that sign say? I love you, Harry. Wouldn't have expected that at this concert. Let's bang it up. Everybody starts screaming. And then I'm just going to finish on this one. I love you. I love you all.